Okay, hello everyone. So let's start the random access memory. A RAM is a read-write memory in which the data can be written into or read from. Okay, any selected address in any sequence. So that's make it the random access means we can write to any memory location and in any sequence. Okay, there is no like we have to follow sequentially and then we can write to this next locations. Like if you want to write to the 10th location, we have to write from the first zero first address, second address, like that. It is not mandatory here. If you want to write 10th location, we can write there directly. So that is the meaning of the random access. When a data unit is written into a given address in the RAM, the data unit previously stored at that address is replaced by the new data. Okay, it is about the writing. When we are writing new data, so whatever the previous data stored in that location, that will be replaced with the new data that we want to write. Data unit means here we are a term is data unit is being used, which means that if we are writing 8 bits, the memory location size is 8 bit, 16 bit, so that makes a data unit. Okay, if it is each memory location is 8 bit, then the data unit size will be 8 bit, or if it 16 bit, then it will be 16 bit. So here it is mentioned the data unit. So what does data unit signifies? The size of memory or number of bits that can be stored in a memory location is read from a given address in the RAM. The data unit remains stored and is not erased by the read operation. In the read operation, we just read whatever is written there. There is no effect on the stored data. The non-destructive read operation means whatever is written that will remain there. Non-destructive read operation, and obviously you can say that the write operation is destructive means the previously stored data is changed. So that makes the difference between the read and the write operation. Okay, so read operation is the copying the contents of the address while leaving the content intact. RAM is typically used for short-term data storage because it cannot retain stored data when power is turned off. Okay, so normally RAM is used to store the data for a short term on a short term basis because we already know about the RAMs that they are the volatile memories, and once the power is off, whatever is stored in the RAM goes and we lost the data. Okay, whatever is stored in the RAM, so that is lost once the power goes. Okay, so there is actually a quite a large RAM family. Okay, but we are not interested in all. But okay, we see the what how the there is a classification of the RAM. So this is the RAM. Okay, then primarily it is classified in two parts: the static RAM and the dynamic RAM, or we call it in short the SRAM and the DRAM. Okay, so in the static RAM, what we use in general is like a latch. Okay, you have already studied about the latch in your basic digital circuit, and in the DRAM we use a transistor and the resistor and the capacitor to store the data. Okay, so this DRAM uses a transistor and the capacitor combination, while this SRAM uses the latch to store the data. Okay, so there are further classification of the SRAMs is the asynchronous SRAM and the synchronous SRAM. There are different burst feature, that is the writing, that we can write large amount of data, that is the writing style difference. Then we have the DRAM. There are four different classes of the DRAM: synchronous DRAM, burst EDO DRAM. Okay, from where we see fast page mode DRAM, extended data out DRAM, burst EDO DRAM. Okay, so these are the different types of the RAMs that we use. Okay, so there are two major categories of RAM are the static RAM, called the SRAM, and then we have the DRAMs, the dynamic RAMs. Okay, there is some difference in the SRAM and the DRAM. I told there is structural difference, like SRAM is made of the latches, while the DRAM is made of a transistor and the capacitor combination. So SRAM generally uses latches as a storage element. Okay, so this is important, and can therefore store data indefinitely as long as the power is applied. So once the data is stored in the SRAM, that will be there unless until power is on. Okay, so till we have the power, so it will store the data, no problem. Sorry. Okay. So on the other hand, DRAMs use capacitor as the storage elements. Okay, so a storage element is the capacitor and cannot retain data very long without capacitor being recharged by a process called the refreshing. What happens in the capacitor? Whenever capacitor find even a smaller connection, so what it starts, capacitor start discharging. Okay, and due to this, the voltage on the or the stored voltage 1 or 0, it start changing. Okay, so what we need to do is we leave the DRAMs as it is, so over the time the stored data will be lost. Okay, so what we have to do, so there is one difference between the SRAM and DRAM. In SRAM the data can be stored indefinitely, okay, under the condition that the power is on. Okay, and while for the DRAM, even the power is on, if we do not recharge the capacitor, it will lose the stored data. So we have to restore the data, whatever is there we have to recharge it. Okay, because over the time the capacitor leaks. Okay, and this process is called the refreshing. Okay, refreshing the DRAMs. So we have to perform the refreshing for a DRAM, while in SRAM there is no refreshing is required. Both SRAMs and DRAMs will lose stored data when DC power is removed. So this is important. Once the power is removed, both of them will lose the data, and that's caused their name to be volatile memories. Okay, so for this reason they are called the volatile memories. Data can be read much faster from SRAM than from DRAMs. Okay, so you can see that SRAMs are faster than the DRAMs. However, DRAMs can store much more data than SRAMs for a given physical size and cost, because the DRAM cell is much simpler and more cells can be crammed into a given chip area in the SRAM. Okay, if we talk about the same area, if we take a equal if we talk about the same area, okay, so the number of DRAM memory unit can be made is much more than the SRAMs. Okay, because if you'll see, normally there are 6 transistors in the SRAMs, 8 transistor, 10 transistor, 12 transistor, 14 transistor, like that transistors are there in the SRAM, while in the DRAM we need only one transistor and the corresponding one capacitor. So that's make the DRAM efficient in terms of the area and the cost, because the area directly signifies the cost in IC chip fabrication. Okay, so DRAM can store more. So in the same with the given area, more number of DRAM unit can be fabricated. Given and while for the SRAM, it will have the lesser number of unit. I hope this is clear. The basic type of SRAMs are synchronous. So ये classification जो नीचे हमने बना रखा है उसी के बारे में बात हो रही है. Okay, so this is the basic difference and the comparison of the SRAM and the DRAM. Now we come to the static RAMs, memory cells. Okay, so what is the memory cell of a SRAM? Okay, all SRAMs are characterized by latch memory cells. Latch आपने देखा होगा जैसा फ्लिप फ्लॉप होता है वैसे हम एक लैच बनाते हैं. इनफैक्ट फॉर द फ्लिप फ्लॉप ऑल्सो फर्स्ट वी लर्न द लैचेस देन वी लर्न द फ्लिप फ्लॉप्स. Okay. As long DC power is applied to a static memory cell, it can retain 1 or 0 state indefinitely. Okay. तो बस पावर ऑन होनी चाहिए और it can store data 1 or 0 indefinitely. If power is removed, the stored data bit is lost. Okay.